Hello and welcome. My name is Monty Cedar. What we're going to cover in this video is some options for the small business owner. And I want you to, if you haven't watched the first two videos, first one, the health insurance problem, second video is the health insurance solution, you'll need to go back and watch them because I'm going to reference some verbiage and you may not quite know what I'm talking about. So some of the challenges that you have as a small business owner, you don't have what we call the law of large numbers working for you. Insurance is all based upon analysis of big numbers and groups of people. And if your company's small, and by definition, I don't know what we could use for a small business, maybe less than 50 people, let's say, you don't maybe have that law of large numbers working for you. You may have 10 to 20% of your people that are what we say have pre-existing conditions, and or if you go watch the first video, we talk about one of the problems with the workforce right now is most of the people are baby boomers. 75% roughly of the working world is baby boomers after age 45. That cost tends to go up quite drastically, and that's, we can't control that part of the equation right now, but the pre-existings, that can be a challenge. So anyway, the insurance company, the small business owner, they really take it on the chin when they're trying to do some kind of a group plan. Mainly because the insurance companies, they want the big businesses with thousands and thousands of people before you're going to get some real drastic drops in your insurance coverage. The small business owner, they just get the crap knocked out of them. So anyway, and one of the biggest reasons, back on the previous videos, we talked, one of the biggest reasons is because of the pork that's put into them, and that's where the big money is for the insurance company. So another thing to remember, as your agent or insurance broker, your small group, and I'm not trying to marginalize your business, but your small business may not be that big a commission for your agent or broker. And maybe they really haven't been problem solvers. Maybe they're kind of complacent with the status quo, I guess you could say that. And or they might be a captive agent where they really kind of have to sell what their company is telling them to sell. The concept really is you need to find somebody that's independent, that can think outside of the box. And we're going to show you some out-of-the-box thinking here in just a minute. But I would say this, if you need solutions and you're not getting solutions, you may have to have the talk with your agent or your broker, and you may have to fire them if they're not going to, get you some solutions. So that probably alienated or irritated a lot of you insurance agents out there, but it's the truth. You gotta be a solution fixer, I guess you say. But there's about 5 different things you can do with your insurance that, 5 different options, I guess that's to say that. First option, option A, it's the same old, the major med with all the pork in it. Rates are going up 10-20% a year, and you really, I don't want to say this, you can't really budget sometimes for this. You know it's going to go up, it's just how much. And it really gives no choice to the individual. The choice really should be with the individual person. It shouldn't be some HR person, and don't take this wrong, trying to decide what the insurance package should be for an individual. It should be individual choice. But anyway, that's got some problems. It's got some holes in this, especially if you're running higher deductibles. It's going to leave the employee a little bit vulnerable, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Option B would be to drop the coverage or just not have coverage, which that's an option. You can kind of budget for that. It's zero. Stipends. Option C, you could go, if you're not doing something now, or if you want to get out of the system you're in, you could go with just giving a certain amount that you say, this is your health coverage, we're going to put that in your paycheck. Now the challenge with that is you're going to be responsible for the taxes on that, the 7% matching and the 7% to the employee. They're going to have to pay that. It's a very simple system. You just put it in their payroll. Anyway, it gives them obviously individual choice, but the challenge again, can you force them to go get insurance? Will they take that money and go get insurance? We can't force them to do it. Government's trying to force us, but really it's their choice. So that's an option. Option D would be to get some kind of a cafeteria plan and get the tax exemptions on the pieces that are actually qualified products, and you have to review them to find out which ones that would be. It gives more individual choice, and this is a good mix. The last but not least is option E, which would be very much like this. We do a group major med, but we strip out the pork, the stuff that's driving the cost up, the doctor office copays, the immunizations, the drug card, all this other stuff, and repackage this. If you go back and watch the video called The Solution, it talks about repackaging. It's more for an individual, but you can kind of do the same thing with a group. Get your group major med, strip out the pork, repackage it with an accident, critical illness, disability, and some other parts and pieces. Run your high deductible, and this gives some more choices to the individual. They could pick up the pieces that they want to add to it. You get, the big overlying coverage, and then they add the pieces in as they see fit, and still run your family more on an individual piece instead of trying to run your family into the group. The problem with trying to add your family in the group, they just beat you up on it. It's just wrong. Why they do it, I don't know. Don't have a good explanation, but it's wrong. So we have to get the people off the group insurance. It should be individual, and if you're uninsurable, we have some very, very good plans for that. Very much like this, just a couple pieces change. So that's really the options that you have. And I would say this: option B, C, D, and E, you can budget for this stuff. This is the animal that's out of control, and you can't budget for it. So if you're wanting to cut and control your costs, these are some other options. And if your agent or broker is not bringing you some solutions, you may need to fire them or have the talk. We'll talk to you later.